Good evening, everyone. This video is going to be a trading review and support session for April the 11th, 2022. Let's go ahead and get through kind of what's been going on a little bit, and I want to just go over the daily and the big picture chart before we get going. So this is how the day ended up, right? So it's still the market is in distress. Um, when we got there, it was it actually spent some time being up as well. So the swings are are pretty large, right? So it does present some um, trading opportunities, right? And the swings are big enough that even if you get on the wrong side, you're able to recover. But the market is not happy, primarily because the today anyway, the consumer price indexes came out and they were worse than expected. So let's go through when that announcement came out, and you'll see the market reaction. We kind of went over this morning. So it came out at 5:30, right? So even though it looks like a lot of time has progressed, it really hasn't. So that vertical line is about where it was announced, right at 5:30, and you see the market was up before that, and then it really came down to below yesterday's low, right? So it made a new low, and then it came back up, tried to recover. And then made it not back to there, right? Kind of double topped. I wasn't trading too much in this time frame, and then boy, it came back down. So I wasn't trading in there at all, and finished again with a pretty weak low, right? So in the 39.40 area, right? This is the close, right? So market is not necessarily feeling very good. It's up a little bit now. So we just have to trade the direction that the market is going in. All right, so I didn't want to get trapped in the first 3 minutes. Because it's still something I sometimes just push the button, and then I wish I didn't. Usually I push it too late, and then by that time the little move it's doing at the open is done. So stayed away from it today. So came back up to the midline daily bias, could not get back up to the pivot point, and it circled back around. So I took a short trade here, and a short trade here, and both of those worked pretty quickly. I pushed it a little bit here. Now this is kind of a bad habit a little bit. Of course, the market's still coming down, right? But this is mid S1, and it just goes through it by a couple of ticks. And this is usually a false breakout, right? Of the four pivot. The market is coming down, but it bounces. So I had to add to it here, right? So this took a second unit, and I'm out in here with profits, but this is usually kind of a false breakout. And so as move along, kind of took another one here, right? As it's coming back into the fast zone, it's rolling over, took one there, took one here as well. And this one is, you could say this one was probably kind of a question mark as well, because it kind of looked like that one, right? But it is kind of on a newer push. So I got out of this trade, but it was still, it's a little bit questionable in my mind. I need to work on not chasing these small breakouts under these pivots. So let's see. Then it's we're not into um, coffee break time yet, so it kind of turns around. So I take a trade here and made profit, and then I ended up, I think, taking more. So I'm already up pretty good, right, at this particular point. Oh, here's another one that was kind of late. Kind of wish I'd traded it earlier. But then again, this is a breakout of the horizontal, kind of the pivot points area, but it didn't really go that far. So it kind of came down. I added to it again, kind of came down a little bit more, right? I had to add a third unit to it. And I got out here, but probably just barely, if I remember right. I got out of two, and then that one just barely, I think, got out. But anyway, it was profitable. But this is again kind of an area of it's even kind of this questionable time frame, right? It's between 650 and 655, not post 655. If I'm going to take a trade during coffee break time, I'd rather it be after 655. But I got out of it, and then I left it alone. But you can see after 655, right, the pullbacks and our pushes, this is a push down, are a little bit more reliable. Okay, so 7 o'clock rolls up, and I'm still kind of happy with my profits, but I don't even remember what they were at that particular point in time. But I'm not seeing any trades just yet. I know I took some more. Oh, here's one. I wish you could let me color these arrows better. They're hard to see. So there's one, and that one worked. Maybe I need to work on finding a different solution. Okay, still looking, still kind of adding to profits. I think this would have been okay, but I didn't trade it. Okay, here's another one that's a little. I'm working on something to try to take these trades earlier, but here again, it's a little bit of a breakdown of the fast zone, and it bounced back up into the fast zone, and I added to it. So that was a profitable trade. Same thing here. Let's see. This one might have been. This was the one I got into a fight with. Right. So I took the first short trade here again on this kind of the breakout area. Came back up to the 2x20, went down. So I took another one. So this is my second unit. So this is 1. This is 2. Did not get out. All right. Then it kind of took off on me, but it's through the fast zone. Right, gave me a couple of pretty good bars here, so I added to it. That's 3, kind of under the ultra fast here. That's 4. This is 5. This is 6. I ended up having too many, but I'm wanting to pull it up into the fast zone, and then I added another one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it came up, and then I added to it 3 more times. I think I may have added some more somewhere along the way, but anyway, when it was really kind of starting rolling over here, right, I wanted to get out prior to the minute average. So in every one of these arrows, I added 2. So that implies I had 12, and I think I had a little bit more than that. So I may have missed an add somewhere. I don't know if I captured it or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 6 is 12. Yeah, I think I had more. But anyway, I did it such that I was able to get out prior to the midline. And then I was kind of commenting. I mean, not the midline, the minute average. I was commenting. And I got out with all the contracts. I didn't have them spaced out. I had them bunched up into 3 different levels. So I got out with those. Ended up quite a bit, even though it kind of messed with my efficiency. So that was the last trade of the morning, and I did not trade any more in the afternoon. So it's up 32.5 points gross with some commissions. So just kind of marginal efficiency because of that big trade, but I mean, the profits were good. So I guess this high volume, high range kind of things, I don't like to let it go against me. I'm kind of working on something visually to maybe help make some of those decisions and get into trades earlier and or reverse earlier. It's not a new. It is kind of an additional to the indications, but it's not a new calculation. In other words, it's just kind of looking at the relationship of the flexes to let us know that it's kind of starting to go in the opposite direction. All right, so good profits this week and so far, and last week as well when I was here. So any questions on that? I mean, we're probably going to see some volatility continuing with inflation and the interest rate adjustment and what's going on with Russia and the energy. That's is probably going to, I don't know about as much as it is recently. It probably will slow down, but it's still pretty pretty volatile. Any questions on that? Okay, let me get this video processing then. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. Uh, so I think the indicators are in pretty good shape. Just trying to work on something a little more visual. All right, so have a great evening, and we will see you hopefully tomorrow.